The nominees are Gina Davis in Thelma and Louise, Laura Dern in Rambling Rose, Jodie Foster in The Silence of the Lambs, Bette Midler in For the Boys, Susan Sarandon in Thelma and Louise, and the Oscar goes to Jodie Foster, The Silence of the Lambs.
This has been such an incredible year, and I'd like to dedicate this award to all of the women who came before me who never had the chances that I've had, and the survivors and the pioneers and the outcasts, and my blood, my tradition. And I'd like to thank all of the people in this industry who have respected my choices and who have not been afraid of the power and the dignity that that entitled me to. And I'd like to thank Ted Talley and Thomas Harris, Jesse Kornbluth, everybody at Orion the way it used to be and the way it will always be in my heart. John Douglas and everybody at Quantico, the incredible cast and crew of Silence of the Lambs that Jonathan put together, and of course, the reason that I'm here, Anthony Hopkins, quid pro quo doctor, and my guru, Jonathan Demme, not just for his talent, but for his goodness, I promise you. And I'd like to thank my team of people, the only people I talk to every single day. My agent and friend, Joe Funicello, thank you, and Matt Saber, Pat Kingsley. I'd like to thank my family and my family of friends, the trusted ones, the circle, and most of all, I'd like to thank my mother, Brandy, my friend, the person who has loved me so much and so well that she taught me in inimitable Little Man Tate fashion to fly away. Thank you, and thank the Academy for embracing such an incredibly strong and beautiful feminist hero that I am so proud of. Thank you very much. Mike and Carol, you won the bet! Right on! It's true, because I think that every single element of Silence, sometimes you go see a movie and you say, the acting was great, but I hated the story, or the acting was lousy, but the direction was good, and a movie like this, really, it shows that it was everybody kind of pulling together, and really experts in some ways coming together.
In the back row?
Hi, Jodie.
Yeah.
Jane Sherrill, Entertainment Report.
Hi.
You'd mentioned a lot of things that this movie and this character has done for the feminine movement and for women in film. Can you elaborate on that a little bit, and how's it justified?
Well, I don't even think we really need to go that far. I mean, feminism is about as close to humanism as you get, and I don't really think that it needs to be somehow put into some kind of category. I mean, it's a humanist movie, and from her perspective. And what's fabulous about it is that there's a woman portrayed as a human, which is incredibly rare these days. It just is. It's rare in literature. It's rare in almost everything else, and we're starting to make great strides. But the great thing about it is that you have a woman, for one of the first times, I think, in cinema history, that really takes part of the folklore hero myth, which is the prince is raised, he goes to the forest of experience to try and battle the plague that's killing the citizens of his village, and he goes and he runs into gnomes and demons and himself and fears and all these things, and then finally kills the dragon and gets the panacea and comes back and saves everybody, never to return the same again. And it's it's one of those myths that we've never been allowed to be part of, really. I mean,
also the
congratulations. You must be very pleased not only with your award, but how well the film, I mean, it's sweeping tonight, really.
I can't believe it. I'm shocked. The Jonathan is I wish I missed the Jonathan the one, but I'm excited.
As an actor, what was your door into Clarice? Where'd you find her?
Is that one of those Juilliard words that I don't know? Oh, I knew this was going to come back to haunt me. Well, I think the password really is that she is compelled. She is compelled in the same way that Hannibal Lecter is compelled. And human beings find what their psychological agenda is. Your life and your work is about figuring out what it is that you were meant to do in some ways. And hers was an incredible, neurotic in some ways, agenda of saving women, the women who were common, the women who were forgotten and were always cast away. No way! Ted was just telling me this is a historical record. What was it? There's only 2 other films in history that's ever done that. I can't believe it.
Okay, back here.
When you won your last Oscar, you said something about going to your local video store because you had a bet with them. What are you going to do to celebrate this one?
I have no idea. I don't know. I didn't make one of those things. I don't know because I have to leave and go to work really soon. But I think I'm gonna. I just have this fantasy of like sitting in a hot bath for 4 days or something. I don't know why. That's just sort of a.
Yes, Jodie.
Yes.
What do you think it means that your last Oscar was for playing a victim of a rape? Now it's a heroine that saves the...
that saves victims.
Right. What does that mean?
I think that's one of the reasons why it was really important for me to do this film. I mean, every time that I do a film, I know that I have some sort of personal agenda in it. And sometimes it becomes clear to me before the movie and sometimes afterwards, but it's always this unconscious need to make the picture. And I don't make that many movies a year. So I think that this really was about putting something behind me, I think, and allowing women to save themselves. By the way, I mean, I think the thing that's the most interesting about Clarice is the reason she's compelled to save these common women is that they are the things, commonness and smallness and people that, you know, women in some ways that aren't big enough is her greatest fear and is her greatest repulsion. She was never big enough. And that's interesting, to save yourself in a way.
Okay, there.
You have a lot of doors open to you now, directing and acting. Which ones do you want to walk through more?
Oh, gee, I don't know. No, I mean, I'll never give up acting. It's so much a part of what I do, and it's what frees me. You know, I'm one of those people. I'm not a lampshade head. I'm not very uninhibited, and I don't do like gypsy dancing on the side. I'm not somebody who finds it very easy. So in some ways, for a kind of intellectual person, somebody who's stuck in their head a lot, I think that acting's freed me, and I don't see how I could ever give that up. However, I think the directing has more to do with my real personality and who I am.
Yeah.
This is not a
Pardon me, just for a moment.
Yes.
I hate to interrupt you, Jodie.
Gotta go.
But Tony Hopkins is in there waiting
Yeah.
for a picture.
Okay, good.
Oh,
See ya.
Go to the picture. Go to the picture.